The skull fracture was in my temple right there, so there's still some nerve damage. That feels weird to me.
Like the side of your head doesn't feel normal?
Yeah, there's just a little nerve damage, and that was one of the most painful spots. It was hard to open my mouth for a while.
Really? Because I've seen you kind of move your jaw a little bit, maybe like it's got a kink in it a little bit.
Yeah, at the top, I can still feel it right there, but I wasn't able to really open my mouth to eat much food for a while. And then they were really worried about infections because there's crazy bacteria not only in that river, which definitely went all in my head and hand, but in the gator's mouth too. So they were really concerned about an infection. So at one point my hand was so...
You got your hand too.
Yeah, so now that's all it looks like. I got some nerve damage, so this feels weird, but it got me on the under too.
Oh yeah, right there. You can see where...
Yeah, and then at one point this was so swelled up like a balloon. It was like I would touch this side and you'd see a ripple on the other. And at one point I did have a fever and we almost went back to the ER, but the antibiotics finally kicked in because they were really concerned about infections afterwards. So I wasn't out of the weeds for a while.
You guys are going to see the river too. It's a real murky.
Oh yeah, so it can be black water. You have to have a flashlight. A lot of good divers refuse to dive that river, but I really enjoyed it. So I don't know.
So that's a question for you, man. Like this happens, you know, you go into these rivers getting these shark teeth. I mean, are you done? Would
No.
you ever do it again, or what's your feeling, man?
Yeah, I wanted to go today, but I won't go to the river during this time of year because the gators are so aggressive. The one that got me got by another alligator, so it was killed by a much bigger 12, 13 footer. So there's definitely a pecking order down there, and I'm at the very bottom. It's different for humans being at the bottom of the food chain. So yeah. I was able to experience that firsthand. It's not, I wouldn't recommend it.
and we went out to that site, and we saw 2 other alligators. One of them probably a 12 to 13 foot alligator.
I was probably the one that killed the one that got me. So apparently my gator was in its hole when they trapped it, and they couldn't pull it out from the ground, so they had to come the next day on kayaks to try to remove it, and it was already dead, and there was a 12 to 13 footer guarding it and not letting them get to it, and then it followed them all the way back to the boat ramp when they got the dead gator.
13 footer followed?
Yeah, so it followed the trappers back.
Yeah.
And I, since the beginning, was, you know, I'm just a wild animal lover, and I asked FWC as soon as they came into my room, which was like an hour right after my CT scan. I hadn't even been to the ICU yet, and FWC was in there trying to get info about the attack, but I told Chris, my rep who was in there, and everyone on social media, I was like, please, I don't want the gator killed. I understand it's policy that it has to be removed if it attacks a human, like any other wild animal, but I don't think it has to die just because I entered in its home.
Yeah.
You know, that's my fault, not the gator's fault. It's following its instincts like every other gator probably would. So, but I guess the good news, or better news, is that it wasn't killed at the hands of a human, because apparently it's up to the trapper and their discretion to do whatever they want with the gator. Yeah, it was killed at the hands of another gator, so at least it had more of a natural death. Yeah, it's crazy in that river. There's dinosaurs protecting old dinosaurs. So.
Dinosaurs, I like that, man. Dinosaurs protecting old dinosaurs.
Yeah.
100%, 100%. And you guys will see a couple of those dinosaurs in the video. And you know, I love alligators myself.
Me
I love
too.
them a ton. And but sometimes when you got to choose between public safety and you got to choose between things, there are a lot of. I know they want that big alligator out of there now too, because there are so many people going in the kayaks, and there's so many people going down there and diving, and they're going. So it's yeah, I mean it's but then at the same time you see something that big and you think, wow, man, how long did it take to get that big, right? You know, and they are kind of living dinosaurs that are left. You know, these creatures were here when your fossils, well, some of your fossils, you know, were being made still, you know.
All of them.
And so, I mean, that's incredible. But it's cool to see that, you know, I mean, you don't really blame the animal.
Of course not.
What they do.
Yeah, it's instincts. So, and I'm just lucky its instinct wasn't to kill me, because it was head hunting and it could have death rolled immediately. It was in control. I didn't fight off anything. I just got bit and it did what it wanted, and it chose to let go, and then we looked at each other and it lunged at me, yes, but it could have really gotten me again if it wanted to. It lunged at me twice.
So it's almost as like, hey, you were in my space,
Yeah.
get out of here, and now I'm going to tell you again.
Yeah.
And you got out of the space, and then you were all right.
Yeah. But I was at the mercy of that animal.
Wow.
I didn't survive. It let me survive.
It's an incredible story, man. That's,
Yeah,
I'm glad you're here. So to give some background, Jeff, you have a company where you basically go down and you get shark teeth.
Yep.
And you got one around your neck right here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's a megalodon tooth.
Yeah, I got a nice megalodon. I just love finding them. It's a big sense of discovery for me, and you know, it's very hard work, a lot of searching hours, and literal blood, sweat, and tears.
But
now.
the way he finds them is he goes to these rivers and he dives down. You're doing breath holds. You're
Yep.
doing free diving. You're going down and you're going down and you're searching around in the mud.
Yeah, I try to find gravel, so this time I was in the mud looking for gravel, but I still tank dive. I still go to land sites. I do whatever it takes, really, and this time I was in a
To
river.
find these teeth.
Yep, exactly.
These teeth. And unfortunately, this time, man, you were caught off guard, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the water about a minute, and now looking at the video, we have the video, it was found, but I was actually...
Because you were wearing a GoPro at the time.
Yeah, so I was wearing this.
Right here.
And it was filming, and this company called Fly Motion US and NBC2 found the GoPro days later in the same river. And
Which is pretty crazy that they actually did find it.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be lost forever, but it did prove that what I was saying was true. It was unprovoked. We'll release the video later, but I go down. I'm actually at the bottom. I can see the bottom with my flashlight, and then you just see the thrashing and the struggle. So it's on my full body, and it kind of sideswiped me because I have the imprint of the snout on my head.
We'll show some shots of exactly the wound that you have, because you can still see it even right now. What's it been, like 2 weeks now?
Yeah, about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks?
But yeah, I feel good. Just it got my wrist too. So
they had to put like staples in your head, didn't they? Just
Yeah.
to like.
Yep, 34 staples and a mild skull fracture right here in my temple. But it could have been so much worse in any other scenario. Anything. It could have knocked me out. It knocked the hearing out of my right ear for about 5 minutes. I thought I was going to be deaf there. I thought I was
Really,
gonna pass
you couldn't
out.
even hear?
No, I couldn't hear out
Wow.
of this ear. Yeah, and came back within 5 minutes, and I was coherent the whole time, even though I thought I was going to pass out right after. I don't know what from, maybe the blood loss or the shock, I don't know, but I thought I was going to die right there when I was about to pass out.
Now, when it happened, exactly what did that feel like to have these? I mean, they got thousands of pounds of bite force.
It felt way stronger than it looked. It looked like, I mean, it felt like a boat hit me going full force. It happened so fast. I just felt all the weight, all the pressure, and the pull. So it pulled me this way, and then it hit me on my hand and pulled me there too. I was just in no control.
Now, did you feel a lot of pain right at that very moment?
No.
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 You just felt pressure.
Felt pull. Yeah. I didn't feel any slicing or cutting. I didn't even feel pain until like hours later. I think it was all this shock.
Kind of the adrenaline kicking in too, probably. What
Yeah.
just happened to be. So at first, did you think maybe it was like a boat?
Oh, I thought it was a boat.
Like a boat hit you? Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. When you're free diving, a lot of times, sometimes boaters don't pay attention. You put the dive flags up, and people die that way.
Yeah.
People die that way all the time.
And that's exactly what I thought happened, but I was just thinking, where did that boat come from? Because I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the GoPro, you don't hear anything either. It just, all of a sudden, just everything explodes.
Now, was there like a cave or something down there? So somebody was saying there's a hole.
Apparently.
There's like a cave or something?
Apparently, I didn't see that.
Okay.
So I didn't get to that. I was still I was about 8 to 10 feet away from the river bank, heading towards the bank. So I was probably heading towards that hole where they pulled out a gator. But now apparently it was protecting something pretty significant. They found this crazy fossilized whale jaw that had never been heard of in the fossil record before. And it's insane. It's going to be going to museums. It's got 9-inch teeth, and it's a whole full
In that
jaw.
hole?
Yeah.
Like after they were trying to find your GoPro and
Yep.
stuff?
So a diver
Wow.
went down. This guy by the name of Mike with I Hunt Dead Things went down there trying to find my GoPro, and he found a mastodon tooth. He found a mammoth tooth, and then he found this huge jaw. It's like this big, and it's got teeth sticking out the top, 21 teeth are in there, and some of them are 9 inches. And the biggest whale tooth in a jaw ever heard of before was 5 inches. So it's got scientists
So there's
confused.
some pretty incredible fossils that actually were. You were kind of on the right path.
I was on the right spot.
But like,
there's something protecting them there.
current dinosaurs are getting in your way, right?
Yep. There's always something protecting the good stuff.
So, as you guys know, I work a lot with a lot of alligators and stuff. Sometimes when I've dove down and I've seen them down there, I've seen alligators where one alligator will come along, it'll come alongside another alligator, kind of get a little bit close, and it'll do a little bit of a side bite where it basically says, "Hey, can you get out of my way? Because I'm sitting here. Why do you get so close to me?" And what you're describing sounds a little bit like that, where maybe because he bit and he let go
Immediately. So that's, I think, why I'm still here right now, is it didn't want to kill me. It must have just been a sideswipe bite, thinking I was another gator. I mean, I was wearing this. I probably looked like a gator with wearing that. It's on my whole body according to the film, and you know, it was head hunting. So I know gators sometimes go for the head on other gators. Now, I don't have the armor they do, so it almost destroyed me, but it could have.
I mean, if it just held on, it could have just drowned you right there, because there's no fighting back with that.
Yeah, and I don't know how I didn't get knocked out anyways. It knocked the hearing out of my ear. It was just so strong and so fast. But
wow.
Yeah, it could have hit me anywhere else. It could have got my neck, could have got my face, ripped my eyes out. It still got my hand, but it could have ripped my hand off easy, like a knife through butter, but it didn't.
Now, when you're coming out of the water, all right, you're coming out, this just happened, right? You're still conscious. I mean, is blood dripping down, or what's going on? Are you able to see? How did you navigate that, man?
So I found out on my wetsuit that there is blood still on it, but when I got hit, I felt right here, and I just felt my hair in places where my hair isn't normally. And I look and I see the blood, and I look at the gator, which is right where that camera is.
Yeah.
And we're looking at each other, and I think we're both confused. And then it lunges at me, and I move away slow. And then it lunges at me faster, and I move away a little bit faster, and I get out, climb out of the bank. But I can't see any blood. I just know that when going like that, there's blood all over my hand. So I have no idea how bad it is. I don't know if I'm about to die right now.
Or just a slight scratch. Yeah. That's scary, man. So yeah, you're coming up out, like, we actually just went out there. I got a chance to go out there with the trapper that actually got the gator that they think bit you.
Yeah.
Did you come up the hill and go to the restaurant there, and how did you get help?
That's exactly what I did. So I climbed up, and I would have ran into the restaurant being a bloody mess. I wouldn't have cared because I needed to.
You got it. I mean, yeah.
But I'm lucky there's people right
man.
there. There's people right there walking back to their car. It said, "Can you guys please call 911? I just got bit by an alligator." And they freaked out, and they helped me. Renee and Steven, they helped me get my phone and call my parents. And someone else called 911 at the same time, and Steven wrapped my head up because he's an ex-firefighter. He wrapped myself up until the paramedics got there, and then they took me right to the hospital. And I was getting stitches like 20 minutes, or staples 20 minutes later. I just hear thunk, thunk, thunk. It's like literally a stapler.
Yeah, on your head.
Imagine that right here with thicker staples.
Crazy.
So that was brutal, but it was relieving for me as I was getting the CT scan when they told me, they're like, "You're gonna live. We don't think the damage is too bad, but let's get the CT scan to see what."
Because up to that point, you didn't know how bad or how serious it was.
No idea. I thought I was gonna die any minute, any second. Who knows? They didn't know. They were just reassuring me, and you can tell a difference between someone reassuring you and
actually knowing,
yes.
Like, hey, you're going to be all right, you're going to be all right, as encouragement versus you're going to be all right because we know you're going to be all right.
I was skeptical, so.
Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for talking. This is, a negative situation that I want to turn into a positive, and just help conservation efforts is really why I'm here, and why I'm looking for shark teeth is so I can help extinct sharks, save live sharks. So
you donate some of the proceeds of the shark teeth that you sell to like help shark conservation efforts.
Oh yeah. So
if you guys see the shark right there, go ahead and what's the name of your business here?
Yeah, I own Shark Co. LLC, so it's Shark with no A, and then CO is in company, and I donate 10% of my profits to Jim Abernathy, who's a world-renowned shark conservationist and wildlife conservationist. He's already done tons of incredible work, and he stops at nothing to keep that going. And I think just as a whole, as a country and as a globe, we can do better. And you know, we have to live symbiotically with the environment, and it doesn't need to be political. We can just be better. And there's a lot of people who are very good at what they do, and if we follow in their footsteps and help them see their environmental visions, I think we can really make a difference. So that's what I'm looking to help do through my own passion. Is not just selfish, like I like seeing the teeth and finding them myself, but other people enjoy them, and how can we mend that to a greater good, and then, you know, day over day get better at living in Mother Nature.
Now you have an Instagram, I know that.
Yeah,
What's your Instagram handle?
So it's at Sharkco.
At Sharkco?
SHRKCO, and my Facebook is on there as well, and you guys can see the recovery, all the crazy adventures I go through, and this was just one of them.
So go out and give Jeff a follow here.
Yeah.
And check out his cool shark teeth, because they look pretty awesome.
Yeah, I got a bunch. So
that's one of the coolest necklaces you can have right
Oh, they get crazier. So these are what I have for everyone else. I have earrings, I have a species selector, so if you like lemon sharks, tiger sharks, snaggleteeth, sand tigers, and bull sharks, you can choose your favorite style or species, and they're all different. So there's a lot of customization you can do with it and really find what speaks to you. And then there's a bunch of bigger teeth on my Instagram as well. This is the GoPro that the Gator bit that may have saved me. I don't know, a lot of stuff happened real quick, but it was recovered. And then here's some of my best finds. Big megalodons. And these are just beautiful. These are like my life's work, but hopefully getting some much bigger ones here soon. This was found in the Mayaka as well.
That's so cool.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Stuck in a rock.
That's incredible, man.
And it naturally stands up on its own.
Oh, wow.
On the rock on a flat surface.
Yeah.
Like a desk ornament. But there's a ton in here, man. I just love it. Something so old is still so well preserved, and it's a piece of art. It really is. And these snaggleteeth are some of my favorites too. They're just beautifully designed by Mother Nature. And how they come out is just incredible. These are some of the most popular, but these two were found in that river. There's just so many. They're almost like snowflakes. No two are the same. There's a bunch of different colors and variations, let alone species. But it's all about the hunt. You never know what you're going to find. Every day's different.
And even though this happened, at some point you're going to be back out there.
Oh, I'd be out there today if I had the plans together.
Would you be back out in that same river?
Eventually, maybe. So there's some things to figure out. I don't know yet. There's a lot of thoughts I have to go through and
like
do things the right way.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but you'd definitely be out in other rivers looking for them.
Yeah, I'm just going to be smarter. And I think one of the reasons I got bit was because I don't have the resources a lot of the other guys do. I don't have a boat. I didn't have a tank that day, so I had to kind of slip in.
Were you out there on your own?
I was there by myself.
Wow.
Because I had no other options. I'm just, when I get the itch to go, I get the itch to go. Now I'm going to be more intelligent about it and realize I'm not invincible. But yeah, I don't have a boat to scare all the gators away and to move them out of the way. And I didn't have anyone else to go to, so I just went. This is what I do. I find shark teeth. It's a passion of mine, and sometimes I can't help it, and I just go, and that was the only place I could go, because a lot of other places would not have worked out that day. Well, this one worked out much worse, but well, I still got to do what I got to do.
Worse,
it could have been much worse.
You're alive, man. So you're alive. You got a story to tell. And you still got your shark teeth. So
that's true.
I mean, very cool. Thanks so much, man, for sharing that. That's so incredible.
Yeah, Charles, I appreciate your time, man. I love what I do.